Good evening. Tonight, Khushboo and I are going to read verses 1 through 14 of Discourse 9 of the Bhagavad Gita. And this discourse in one of these translations is called The Sovereign Secret. And so Khushboo will be reading in Sanskrit. I will be reading three versions. One is the Penguin Classic, the Bhagavad Gita. Laurie Patton is the translator. And the second one is the Light Illuminations Bhagavad Gita, which is SkyLight Paths, and it's translated by Shri Purohit Swami. And it looks like this. And it's in prose, so sometimes I say it's the I'm reading the prose. Laurie Patton's version is more like verse. And then the third version I'm reading is the version by R.K. Sharma, and with Carol Pitts and Les Morgan. And this version is fully built out. I have been told by them's knows that it's the gold standard, but just to give you a different idea or a general idea of the difference in the way people can translate these things, I'm going to read all three versions. So Khushboo, Slok 1.
Oh God, 1 second.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, folks, this is live YouTube, so we have full life in full. Khushboo takes care of 8 dogs, so.
Okay, let's start.
Are you okay? Okay, all right. Yeah. Slok 1.
Idah tu te guhayatama pravakyamyana suyave jnana vijnana sahita yagyatva moshe sedasyu bhata. Slok 1.
The Patton reads, the Blessed One said, but this most hidden secret I will tell you, as you are the one who does not sneer. Knowledge joined with wisdom, once you've learned this, you will be freed from impurity. And the prose reads, Lord Krishna said, I will now reveal to you, since you doubt not, that profound mysticism which, when followed by experience, shall liberate you from sin. And the Sharma reads, the Blessed One, the Blessed Lord said, next I will proclaim to you, the respectful one, this most secret knowledge, united with spiritual experience, knowing which you will be liberated from inauspiciousness. Slok 2.
Rajavidya Rajagruhaya Pavitra Midamutta Mama Pratyagyavagama Dharmaya Susukha Kartumavyayam. Slok 2.
The Patton reads, it is a kingly knowledge, a secret, a kingly secret, a purifier above all, promoting Dharma, learning right before your eyes, undying and pleasant to perform. The prose reads, this is the premier science, the sovereign secret, the purest and best intuitional, righteous, and to him who practices it, pleasant beyond measure. There's a footnote. Shraddha, see Sri Iswaran's definition on page 130. Okay, 130. So here it says, faith. Here is not a very adequate translation of Shraddha, which means much more. Literally, Shraddha is that which is placed in the heart. All the beliefs we hold so deeply that we never think to question them. It is the set of beliefs, values, prejudices, and presuppositions that colors our perceptions, governs our thinking, dictates our responses, and shapes our lives, generally without our even being aware of its presence and power. And that's from Eknath Ishwaran. And the Sharma reads, this best and most secret knowledge is an excellent purifier, understandable by direct realization, conducive to righteousness, very easy to do, and imperishable. Slok 3.
आश्रद्यधानाः पुरुषाः धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप अत्रायमा निर्वर्तन्ते मृत्यु संसार वर्तमनि. Slok 3.
Scorcher of the enemy, people who do not have trust in this Dharma have not reached me. They are born again in the way of death and rebirth. The prose reads, they who have no faith in this teaching cannot find me, but remain lost in the purlieus of this perishable world. There are 2 footnotes. Again, I guess I read the wrong one last time. So I guess I better read the first one that I missed in the last slogan. Mystical teachings are secret because they are hidden from the ordinary person, not because anyone is just deliberately hiding them or making them unavailable, but because the ordinary person's understanding is so diluted that he or she simply does not recognize, believe, or value the secret of liberation. And then the next note was Shraddha, which I just read. And then the 3rd footnote is perishable world, samsara, the domain of birth, death, and rebirth, the transient existence to which we are bound by karma in a seemingly endless cycle until we attain liberation. The Sharma reads, O destroyer of the enemy, people who have no faith in this doctrine return to the path of mortality, the cycle of birth and death, without attaining me. Slok 4.
Slok 4 and 5 are together.
Okay.
Maya tatamida sarva jagadavya murtina matsthani sarvabhutani na chah teshva vyasthitaha na cha matsthani bhutani pasya me yoga bhairava bhruta bhrunna cha bhutastho mamatma bhuta bhavana. Slok 4 and 5.
The Patton reads, this whole world is woven through with me in a shape which is formless. All beings dwell in me, while I do not dwell in them. Yet neither do beings dwell in me. Behold, my powerful yoga, bearing beings and yet not dwelling in beings, my own self causing them to be. Verse 4 and 5 in the prose. The whole world is pervaded by me, yet my form is not seen. All living things have their being in me, yet I am not limited by them. Nevertheless, they do not consciously abide in me. Such is my divine sovereignty that though I, the Supreme Self, am the cause and upholder of all, yet I remain outside. Sharma reads, yep, okay. Verses 4 and 5 in the Sharma version. All this world is pervaded by me with my unmanifested form. All beings are located in me, yet I am not located in them. There's a footnote to verse 4. See verse 1861. Ishvara sarva bhutanam shridese Arjuna tistati. God resides in the heart of all beings, O Arjuna. There is no place where he is not. Everyone is dependent on Ishvara. Ishvara works through all and is not limited. Like the driver of a car, he controls everything and is in no need of support. All beings are located in me, yet I am not located in them, is restated from verse 7:12. And then verse 5. And yet, in another sense, beings are not located in me. See my supreme divine power. I am the sustainer of all beings. At the same time, I do not reside in them. Myself brings them into existence. And there's a footnote to this. God creates and sustains all beings, but is not limited in any way by them. Verses 7, 5-6 distinguish between the higher and the lower natures of the Lord. Created beings exist in the realm of manifest nature, but the higher nature transcends all that is manifest. Verse 8, slok 6, slok 6.
यथाकाशस्थितो नित्य वायुः सर्वत्रगो महान तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मत्स्थानि त्युपधारय. Slok 6.
As a great wind moving in all places dwells eternally in the sky, so all beings dwell in me. Think of this. And the prose reads, as the mighty wind, though moving everywhere, has no resting place but space, so have all these beings no home but me. The Sharma reads, as the mighty wind going everywhere always abides in space, so all beings abide in me. You must understand this. And there's a footnote. The omnipresent, omnipotent Ishvara is everywhere, within all, yet is not confined to or affected by any particular being. Slok 7.
सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृति यन्ति मामि काम कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पाद्रो विसृजाम्यहम्. Slok 7.
Son of Kunti, all beings move into my own substance at the burning end of the cycle of ages, and at the birth of an age I again send them out. The prose reads, all beings, O Arjuna, return to the close of every cosmic cycle into the realm of nature, which is a part of me, and at the beginning of the next I send them forth again. Sharma reads, O son of Kunti, at the end of a cosmic cycle, all beings return to my nature, Prakriti. At the beginning of the next cosmic cycle, I send them forth again. There's a footnote. One cosmic cycle, kalpa, is a day and night of Brahma, equivalent to 4.32 billion years. Here, Prakriti means the evolutionary power of God. Compare this with verse 8:18. Slok 8.
Prakriti swamavashtabhya vishrujati punah punah bhutagramamima krutasanamavarsha prakrutervarshata. Slok 8.
Born up by my own material nature, again and again, I send out by the power of material nature this whole collection of beings, which is in itself powerless. The prose reads, with the help of nature, again and again, I pour forth the whole multitude of beings, whether they will or no, for they are ruled by my will. And the Sharma reads, by taking recourse to my own nature, again and again, I create this whole multitude of beings, which is powerless due to the power of nature. And there's a footnote. The word bhuta here includes both animate and inanimate things. Slok 9.
Na cha ma tani karmani nidhananti dhanjaya udasi navadasi namasatkaha teshu karmashu. Slok 9.
Winner of wealth, yet these acts do not bind me. I sit as one, sitting apart, not clinging to these acts. The prose reads, but these acts of mine do not bind me. I remain outside and unattached. There's a footnote. The Lord is always neutral, although he has his hand in every sphere of activity. Bhaktivedanta. He is interested in everything but not concerned about anything. The slightest mishap may command his sympathy. The greatest tragedy will not upset him. And that's from Meyer Baba. Sharma reads, and those actions, O winner of wealth, do not bind me, who sits like a neutral person, unattached to those actions. And there's footnote, even actions such as the repeated creation of the universe do not bind God, who is unattached like a neutral observer. Slok 10.
Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagadi parivartate. Slok 10.
With me as witness, material nature gives birth to the moving and the still. Because of this, son of Kunti, the world evolves in various ways. The prose reads, under my guidance, nature produces all things movable and immovable. Thus it is, O Arjuna, that this universe revolves. Sharma reads, under my supervision, nature creates the entire universe of mobile and immobile beings, For this reason, O son of Kunti, the world keeps revolving. Sloka 11.
Avajananti ma mudha manushi tanuma shritama para bhavama jantato mama bhuta maheshwaram. Slok 11.
When I dwell in human form, the confused ones have contempt for me, not knowing my highest nature as the great Lord of beings. Prose reads, fools disregard me, seeing me clad in human form. They know not that in my higher nature, I am the Lord God of all. The Sharma reads, that ignorant ones disregard me, embodied in human form, not knowing my supreme state as the great Lord of beings. Slok 12.
Modhasha modhakamano modhagyana vichetasaha rakshasi masuri chaiva prakruti mohini shritaha. Slok 12.
Those thoughtless ones whose hopes, actions, and wisdom are all in vain abide in a fiendish, demonic, and deluded nature. The prose reads, their hopes are vain, their actions worthless, their knowledge futile. They are without sense, deceitful, barbarous, and godless. The Sharma reads, having futile hopes, futile actions, and futile knowledge, deprived of wisdom, they are possessed of a deluding nature that is evil-spirited and demonic. Slok 13.
Mahatma nastu ma partha devihi prakruti ma shritaha bhajantya nasnaya manaso gyatva bhuta dimavya yama. Slok 13.
But son of Prita, those whose selves are great, abiding in divine nature, they honor me with a single mind, knowing me as the imperishable one, the beginning of all beings. The prose reads, but the great souls, O Arjuna, filled with my divine spirit, they worship me. They fix their minds on me and on me alone, for they know that I am the imperishable source of being. The Sharma reads, but, O son of Prita, great souls of a divine nature are devoted to me single-mindedly after recognizing me as the imperishable source of beings. Slok 14.
Satata kirtayanto ma yatantascha drudha vrataha namasyantascha cha ma bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Slok 14.
Continually praising me, striving their vows firm, honoring me with devotion, eternally joined to yoga they worship. The prose reads, always extolling me, strenuous, firm in their vows, prostrating themselves before me, they worship me continually with concentrated devotion. And the Sharma reads, always praising and striving to attain me, saluting with devotion those of firm vows, ever steadfast, worship me. And that concludes our reading for tonight. Any other comments that you wanted to make?
No. We shouldn't get into trouble for making comments.
No. Well, okay. Yeah. Well, I think that one of the ideas here, that if I put it in psychological terms, and so I'll take a risk of making a comment. So this is psychology, not religion. But when in verse 1, where the references to knowledge joined with wisdom, one could think of that as when you're trying to teach a child that the stove is hot. You can explain that the stove is hot until you're blue in the face, but when the child actually touches the stove, then they have the wisdom, then they know what hot means. And so that's the kind of concept that's being presented here from a psychological perspective. In other words, you can know a lot about God, but you have to have an experience of God, and then you know. And so since this is a Jungian channel, I can say this is what Dr. Jung meant when he was asked whether he believed in God, and he said, I have no need to believe, I know. So anyway, Dr. Jung and
Yeah, and that is pretty intense, right? Because
for sure.
And imagine like you and me, people like ask, I don't know about you, what I should say about myself only is that we go claiming that I know if I go claiming I know all the dogs, but that's not true. I know most of like 99% of them because I have that harmonious relationship with that. But when it comes to Yoda, I know him 100% because I have really spent like a lot of time and effort and money behind that creature. Like almost my life, like important part of my life. He's important
Right.
part of my life. So that is why I can claim that I know God, like I know Yoda for very sure, and people who know me will understand what I mean. But it's not true for everything for everybody, right? So it's like Jordan Peterson is very careful admitting what he has about God or any other supernatural things like that, because he really, really, really value it, and he says that nobody should in their authentic moral being claim such things if they really have, because it demands practicing if you are trying to be religious, and if you are not religious, then it demands practice, it demands sacrifices. You can't gain without sacrifices. And I'm sure like in Jungian literature, if you see, he was delving it diving into all those collective God, like so that is why he can say it everybody, and because it is Dr. Jung, he can say I know, but if everybody starts walking around and start claiming that, it it will lose its value.
Right.
So it is the same concept. Is like in India in earlier times, temples were not so accessible. They were always on the mountains and they were always onto the deep, thick jungle because
Mhm.
without without taking the pilgrimage, you are not allowed to like see the God, witness the God, do the darshana. Then there is a, and I understand where the logic comes from. So
Right.
I hope people don't go claiming around they know God.
Yeah, it's not that easy because even me, when I heard him say that in the video that is here on YouTube, he says, "I have no need to believe I know." I said, "Oh, I know too." But then I had to spend 10 years figuring out what it was I knew that Dr. Jung knew. And then I grokked it. I've grokked it now. So, um,
but but the intellectual idea you grokked it. You see, the,
no, I mean,
it's like
I mean, in terms of between me and Dr. Jung, yes, that was an intellectual idea. But in
yeah.
terms of me with my own experiences with God, I've had those experiences. They're on my video.
Okay.
They're very hard to catch on on a camera or on a video, but in um, Finding the Living God, I describe these experiences and have pictures of them. So
Sure. Like I am not asking for evidence, nor did I.
I know, but you're quite right. In terms of Dr. Jung, when he said that, I had an intellectual epiphany that I know, but then I didn't know what I knew, right?
Yeah. What I'm pointing out is knowing is it's it's the grokking of your mind only. It's like understanding of from the mind, right? Like so,
Everything has to come from the mind in the end.
not necessary. Well, that's another subject because it's the last stage of the development. Everything doesn't come from the mind. Poets don't always come from the mind. Painters don't always come from the mind. Sometimes, like guitarists, if they I know a person who like, who met with a very bad accident. They forgot how to speak and their mind was not working, but the limbic um, uh, uh, memory was still there, so he was able to play guitar. You see, he forgot
Hmm.
so many things, but he was so it's everything is not mental, and I think that is the
Okay.
realization reading Gita also I am having is that actually most of the things are not mental because your body and your world is not your mind. It helps you to perceive and be safe. Apart from that, it doesn't have much utility like your fingers. You see, your
Sure.
fingers have way more utility than your brain.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
So but that is how I'm looking at it. Anyways, we have to end this.
Yeah. Okay, so good night, Khushboo. I will see you tomorrow, this time tomorrow. Um,
Yes. Thank you.
and we'll go on with Discourse 9. Thank you very much for the discussion tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.